The Silurian Council sat in a great circular chamber that hung above a sea of light. From there, the most powerful minds in the galaxy made decisions that shaped 1,000 worlds. On that day, something unusual had appeared on the long-range scanners, a faint signal coming from a small, quiet system near the edge of the Orion Arm. The system was known as Sol. The signal was weak but clear. It repeated the same line again and again. No one could understand the words at first. The data was too old and the language was ancient. The Council's translators worked for days until the message finally made sense. When they played it back in the chamber, a voice filled the air. It was deep, human, and calm. "Do not provoke Earth." Silence followed. The Council members looked at one another. They had not heard that name in many centuries. Earth, the homeworld of the extinct human species, was little more than a myth now. Most historians believed the humans destroyed themselves long ago. Others thought they had left the galaxy entirely. Counselor Rune, a tall creature covered in green scales, laughed first. "A warning from a dead world," he said. "How dramatic." But Elder Vorin did not laugh. He was older than any of them, older than the Council itself. His form shimmered faintly, made of light and memory rather than flesh. He leaned forward and said, "I have heard that name before." The chamber grew quiet again. Everyone knew Vorin's words carried weight. He was the last survivor of the first generation of explorers, the ones who had mapped the early galaxy. Run spoke again. "Surely, Elder, you do not mean to say this ancient message is real?" Vorin's voice was soft but firm. "It is older than any Council world. This message is not a trick. It is a memory." While the Council debated what to do, far from them, a small group of humans lived in secret. They were not extinct as the galaxy believed. They lived and worked quietly in an old research base orbiting Jupiter, hidden inside the thick storms of radiation that no alien dared enter. The station's name was Dawnspire. Few on Earth had ever heard of it before humanity's fall. Dr. Aaron Blake stood by a flickering screen, reading data from deep space. He was a thin man in his 40s, tired from long nights, but his eyes were sharp. Behind him, Commander Lisa Monroe entered the control room. Her hair was tied back, her voice steady. She had the calm confidence of a soldier who had seen too much. "Anything new?" she asked. Aaron nodded slowly. "Yes, a signal was sent toward the solar system. Alien pattern. Encrypted, but I broke part of it. They're looking at Earth again." Lisa frowned. "After all these years." Aaron turned the screen toward her. The outer sensors picked up energy spikes in the Kuiper Belt. Ships, maybe a fleet. The Council found something. Lisa stared at the screen in silence. "They're coming here," she said. Aaron sighed. "Yes, they'll try to take what's left." Inside the chamber of the Silurian Council, the argument grew louder. Some members wanted to send a peaceful research mission. Others wanted a military fleet just in case. The humans had once created weapons that could erase moons. Even after their extinction, many feared their relics might still be active. Hun stood and said, "We will send a fleet. The Council must control what remains of Earth's technology. It is too dangerous to leave unclaimed." Vorin shook his head slowly. "You do not understand. That planet remembers its creators. Do not disturb its silence," but Rune only smiled. "Elder, your warnings are old tales. The humans are gone. Their time is over." Vorin looked down, his eyes glowing faintly. "Perhaps," he said softly. "Or perhaps time has only hidden them." The fleet left within days. Hundreds of ships, their engines burning blue across the void, headed toward the solar system. The commanders expected ruins, maybe a few decaying satellites. They did not know what waited there. Back on Jupiter Station, Aaron and Lisa gathered their small team in the command hall. Engineer Cole Ramirez leaned against a wall, arms crossed, his uniform worn. "So the Council finally found us," he said. "Took them long enough." Lisa looked around at them. "We knew this day would come." Project Arc Dawn wasn't just about survival. It was about readiness. Aaron nodded. "The old systems on the moon are still active. If the aliens cross the orbital line, the defenses will wake up. I don't know what happens after that." Cole grinned faintly. "Then let's make sure they regret crossing it." Outside the station, Jupiter's red storms rolled endlessly. The humans had lived in hiding for centuries, watching and waiting. Few of them even remembered what life on Earth looked like. The planet below had long been covered by wild forests and deep oceans, its cities swallowed by time. Yet under its surface, machines still slept. Far away in the Council's flagship, Admiral Threx stood on the bridge. His body was tall and silver, his eyes black like glass. "We are approaching the outer system," he said. "Prepare probes." The first probe entered the system near Pluto. It sent back images of dark, quiet space. Then it passed Saturn, then Jupiter. It saw no movement, no ships, no life. When the probe neared Earth's orbit, something happened. A beam of light, sharp, white, and impossibly fast, cut through space. The probe vanished instantly. On the flagship's bridge, alarms blared. "We lost the probe," shouted an officer. "Energy beam detected from lunar coordinates." Threx frowned. "The moon? That world's satellite?" "Yes, sir," the officer said. "Source is mechanical, not natural." Threx turned to his staff. "Send the next probe." Double shields. The second probe entered the same area and was destroyed even faster. The crew fell silent. Threx clenched his jaw. "Contact the council," he ordered. "We may have awakened something." Back on the council homeworld, the message arrived hours later. Rune paced angrily. "They must have triggered some old defense drone. Continue the mission." Voron's voice cut through the noise. "Do not continue. Leave that system at once," Rune glared at him. "You speak as if the dead can rise." Voron's image flickered, his light dimming. "In a way they can." He closed his eyes, remembering a long-forgotten age. He remembered a human ship descending on his world long before the council had formed. He remembered their words, their calm faces, their strange kindness. They had come not to conquer but to teach. They gave knowledge freely, yet they were feared for their strength. When others tried to challenge them, they disappeared overnight, leaving behind ruins that no one could decipher. Voron had always wondered where they went. Now, as the ancient signal repeated across the void, he began to understand. At the same time, inside Jupiter Station, Aaron watched the moon on his screen. Lines of red text appeared. "Defense network, awake, intrusion detected." He whispered, "It's happening." Lisa came beside him. "Then we're out of time." The lights in the station flickered. Systems hummed to life that had been silent for generations. Old machines spoke in voices older than any living human. The control panel glowed blue, showing a single message. "Lockdown protocol activated." Cole looked around.
"What's the lockdown protocol?"
Aaron took a deep breath. "It means Earth's guardian is awake." The old defense AI, Sentinel Earth. Outside, invisible networks came alive. Across the moon's surface, hidden towers began to rise from craters. In orbit, faint energy lines connected across the dark sky. Every signal, every frequency, began to hum with the same rhythm, the heartbeat of a sleeping giant stirring. In the Silurian flagship, Admiral Threx stared at the readings in disbelief. "The entire system is alive," he said. "Every planet, every moon, something is responding." He did not yet know that his fleet had already crossed the line, and that the ancient warning had never been a threat. It was a promise. Back in the council chamber, Voron stood, his eyes glowing brighter. "The humans left a guardian," he said, "and you have called it awake." Rune looked uneasy for the first time. "You mean the signal was real?" Voron nodded slowly. "Yes, the voice you heard was not a message. It was a memory, a shadow of the first and final warning they left behind. Far away, in the quiet space between Earth and its moon, a deep vibration rolled through the void. Dust shifted, metal sang, and light began to gather in the dark. The ancient systems of humanity, their last defense, had opened their eyes. Inside Jupiter Station, Lisa watched the sensors spike. "What are we seeing?" she asked. Aaron could barely speak. "Something under the surface," he said. "Not a weapon." "A signal." Lisa looked at him. "A signal to who?" Aaron stared at the screen, his heart pounding. "To us." The ancient voice spoke again across all frequencies, steady and calm, the same words the council had ignored. "Do not provoke Earth." The fleet from the Silurian Council moved through the black sea of space, its engines burning pale blue against the dark. Hundreds of ships glided silently toward the solar system, confident and proud. To them, Earth was nothing but an old ruin, a forgotten rock from a time when humanity had tried to rise too fast. Admiral Threx stood at the command bridge of the flagship Silurian Star, his tall silver frame calm but alert. His eyes, black and cold, scanned the long-range display. "Status of the fleet?" he asked. "All ships in formation," replied his second officer. "Outer drones still destroyed. No new contact since the moon fired on the probes." Threx nodded slowly. "We proceed carefully. No unnecessary aggression, but we must secure the planet's surface. Command wants proof of human extinction. The officer hesitated. And if the defenses are still active? Threx turned toward him. Then we will destroy them. The Council fears old machines more than it should. Back on the Council homeworld, Elder Vorin stood before the gathering chamber. His image flickered like a dying flame, but his voice remained strong. You are sending them to their doom, he said. That system is not abandoned. It remembers. I have seen what those machines can do. Rune, still confident, shook his head. You speak of legends, Elder. The humans burned themselves out long ago. Their technology is dangerous, yes, but unguarded. We can reclaim it. Vorin closed his glowing eyes. You call it unguarded because you cannot see the guard. The humans hid their strength well. The Council ignored him. The younger members saw only power and discovery ahead. They dreamed of unlocking ancient knowledge. None of them had ever faced human design before. None understood what kind of beings had once ruled from that small blue world. Meanwhile, in the quiet orbit around Jupiter, the hidden human base was fully awake. Dawnspire Station, for the first time in generations, was alive with movement. Engineers worked across the decks. Machines hummed. Lights flickered to life in long-forgotten tunnels. Commander Lisa Monroe stood in the command room watching the tactical map. Their fleet entered Mars orbit, she said. We have maybe 12 hours before they reach Earth. Dr. Aaron Blake leaned over the console. The moon's AI, Sentinel Earth, has already detected them. It's scanning the fleet. Cole Ramirez, the engineer, rubbed his neck and muttered, If that thing wakes up fully, I hope it still remembers we're on its side. Lisa looked at him sharply. It was made to protect humans, not harm them. We just have to trust it. Aaron didn't look convinced. It's been asleep for centuries, Lisa. Machines change. Systems decay. We don't know how it will interpret us now. The air around them trembled slightly as power surged through the base. Deep inside the moon, something massive began to move. On Earth, mountains stirred and the oceans rippled under strange energy fields. The planet's magnetic field started pulsing like a heartbeat. Cole watched the readings with wide eyes. It's linking systems across the whole solar network. Every defense node. Every hidden satellite, Lisa said softly. It's waking up the Arc system. Aaron looked confused. The Arc system? You mean the failsafe? Lisa nodded. Yes, the system meant to restart humanity if extinction ever came. Aaron froze, staring at the monitor. You mean Project Arc Dawn wasn't about keeping us alive here on Jupiter? It was about triggering a return. Before Lisa could answer, the base's communication panel lit up. A signal came through, strong and rhythmic. A voice, human but mechanical, filled the room. Identity confirmed. Human command authority detected. Project Arc Dawn is active, awaiting final command. Aaron stared at the speaker. It's the custodian AI, he said quietly. It's been waiting for us. Lisa stepped forward. Custodian, this is Commander Lisa Monroe. We confirm human presence. What are your current directives? The voice responded in a calm tone. Primary directive, defend Earth from external threats. Secondary directive, prepare for re-emergence of human civilization. Warning, external fleet detected within defense perimeter. Cole gave a low whistle. Well, looks like we're about to see what that thing can do. Far away, Admiral Threx's fleet reached Earth's orbit. The blue planet turned slowly below them, covered in clouds and light. Sensors detected signs of life, nothing intelligent, just wild forests and ocean creatures. Threx studied the readings. No settlements, no radio signals. The world is quiet. An officer nodded. Then we begin surface scans. A beam of light shot from one of the ships, scanning across the upper atmosphere. At first the scan seemed successful. Then alarms flared across every ship. Admiral! Shouted a voice. We are being scanned back. Before Threx could react, a massive surge of energy rippled through the space around Earth. Invisible waves struck the fleet, disabling several smaller ships instantly. Engines flared and died. Communication broke down. What happened? Threx demanded. Unknown interference, his engineer shouted. It's like the planet itself just responded. The Admiral stared out the window. From the shadow of the moon, dozens of glowing objects began to rise. They looked like metallic shards, but they moved with precise coordination. Each one pulsed with light, connecting into patterns, networks of defense drones forming a vast web across space. A voice echoed through every alien ship at once, transmitted on every frequency. It was clear, deep, and unmistakably human. Unauthorized presence detected. Withdraw immediately. The fleet went silent. On Jupiter Station, Lisa and Aaron heard the same message echo through their systems. Aaron whispered, "It's Sentinel Earth, it's speaking." Lisa watched as the moon's surface lit up with white lines. "It's giving them a warning," she said, just like before. But Admiral Threx was not the kind to retreat. He clenched his metallic hands. "They are automated defenses. Machines cannot command us," he ordered his ships forward. "Deploy strike teams. Disable those drones." The first volley of plasma fire hit the defense network. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire system reacted at once. From the moon's hidden structures came beams of light faster than any alien weapon. They didn't explode. They simply erased. One by one, Threx's outer ships vanished, silent flashes gone without trace. The survivors panicked. "Admiral, we're losing ships." "We can't track their weapons," Threx roared. "Hold formation." But inside, even he felt fear. He had fought dozens of wars, but never against something this precise, this silent. It was not anger he felt from those weapons, it was judgment. Back on the Council world, reports began to pour in. Rune's confident face turned pale. "They're losing ships already? That quickly?" Foreign stood in the shadows. "I warned you. The humans built guardians that never rest. You thought them extinct, but they do not die. They endure." Rin slammed his fist on the table. "We must send reinforcements." Foreign shook his head. "You will send them to their end. That system does not need reinforcements. It needs peace." Back in orbit near Jupiter, Aaron watched the battle unfold on the holographic display. The alien fleet's icons blinked out one after another. Cole murmured, "That's not a fight. That's a lesson," Lisa whispered. "It's still holding back. It could destroy them all, but it's not." Aaron nodded. "It's giving them a chance to leave." The custodian's voice returned over the comms. "Hostile forces detected. Humanity's defense threshold remains unbreached. Awaiting human directive," Lisa hesitated. "Can we contact them?" Aaron nodded. "I think so. But if we do, they'll know we're still alive." Lisa looked at him seriously. "Maybe it's time they know." She activated the transmitter. "This is Commander Lisa Monroe of the Human Research Base Dawnspire. We request direct link with Sentinel Earth." There was a pause, then the same calm voice replied, "Connection granted." "Welcome, Commander. Humanity endures." For a moment, the entire room went silent. Aaron's throat tightened. "You knew we were alive?" "Yes," said the custodian. "The ARC system monitored your station. You were the final line. The signal was not meant to hide you. It was meant to wait for your command," Lisa asked. "Then what do you need from us now?" The voice replied, "Authorization to awaken the ARC fleet." Aaron looked at her in disbelief. "The ARC fleet? The ships built before the fall?" Lisa stared at the glowing console. She knew the choice was enormous. If they gave the order, the humans would reveal themselves to the entire galaxy. There would be no going back. Before she could speak, the display flashed again, another incoming message from Earth. The translation showed a simple sentence: "They are at the gates." Lisa took a deep breath and said, "Custodian, authorization granted." Far below, Earth's crust began to glow faintly with lines of blue light. Across the oceans, long shapes stirred beneath the waves. From craters on Mars, old hangars opened. Hidden stations that had slept for ages started to hum. The ARC fleet was rising. On the Council's command network, chaos broke out. Reports came in from the outer systems, energy readings spreading from Sol, frequencies older than any known empire. Rune shouted, "What have we done?" Horan stood at the edge of the chamber, his face calm but filled with sorrow. "You have reminded the stars of their oldest fear," he said softly. "You have reminded them that humanity never truly died." As the alien fleet tried to retreat, a massive shadow fell across them, an enormous shape emerging from behind Earth's moon. It was not a station or a ship they recognized. It was something else, something older, made of both light and metal. Admiral Threx watched in awe as it came into view. "What is that?" he whispered.